This video is for those of you who constantly feel overwhelmed and you want a technique to help you feel less overwhelmed, less pressure, whether it's in your studies, whether it's in your work or just life in general. This productivity hack called the Eisenhower Matrix or the Urgent Important Matrix. So what it essentially does is it breaks down your tasks into 4 quadrants. So you have the urgent important quadrant, and then you have the important but not urgent quadrant, and you have the urgent but not important quadrant, and also the not urgent and the not important quadrant. If you're always in the urgent and important quadrant, then you're always going to be running around the place like a headless chicken, and it might seem like you're productive and you're getting a lot of stuff done, but actually that's a lot of busy work all of the time. And not only that, it's highly stressful to always be in the urgent and important quadrant. So let me break this down a little bit more. If everything on your to-do list today is urgent and important, then that means there's an imminent deadline and you need to get it done. It's stressful if it doesn't get done, and if there's any errors or any mistakes or any delays, then you're flat on your face. And I understand the need to be in that quadrant sometimes. Like sometimes, something major happens. So for me, for example, I run businesses, and if my website just shuts down for whatever reason, then that's urgent and that's important. It's an emergency. I need to figure out a way to get that back up as soon as possible. Sometimes something urgent happens, a mistake happens, a crisis happens, and you're in fight or flight mode, and that is urgent and important. But other than actual emergencies, you want to avoid as much as possible being in the urgent and important mindset. Where you want to be is in the important but not urgent mindset. So think about the tasks that you could potentially get ahead of. If you have a deadline for next week, for example, do it today because it's important that it gets done, but it's not currently urgent. If you leave that deadline all the way till next week, a day before, then now it becomes urgent but also important. And that's when you're stressed out. But if you can get ahead of your work and do your work while it's important but it's not urgent, then you're always in that kind of more of a peace of mind. So I can, for example, start that project that is not due until next week, whether it's for work, whether it's for my studies, whether it's in my personal life. I can start it knowing it's due next week. And what that means is I can take my time with it. And if I'm really, really tired and I don't get it finished, that's okay. I can finish it tomorrow because it's not urgent. I can do it tomorrow. I have time. And then I finish that project a week before, or sometimes even more than the actual deadline itself. And so now I'm not stressed. I'm not running around like a headless chicken. I've got time on my hands that I can use to get ahead of other life projects that I might have, or business projects or work projects or study projects, whatever it might be. So if you're constantly in the urgent, important kind of quadrant, then you want to get out of that and make sure you're getting your things done before the deadline or before it becomes imminent. And then you have the urgent but not important tasks. So I kind of see this as, someone has asked you for a favor. Someone's asked you to lend them some money or to drop them somewhere or to do something for them. Yes, it's urgent. It's something that needs to get done, but it's not necessarily important. You're not going to prioritize that over some of the things that you need to get done, because essentially they even say it when you're on the aeroplanes. If there's an emergency, make sure you put on your mask first before you attend to anybody else. You need to make sure you get your urgent things done and finished and out the way and taken care of before you can focus on anybody else's things. So make sure that you prioritize your mental health, your emotional health, your work, your finances, and then you can focus on your friends or your family members or whatever it might be once yours is sorted out. I see way too many people who are empaths and they care so much that they put other people's burdens on themselves, so much so that they neglect their own self. They neglect their own mental and physical health. They take on way too many problems from other people, and it impacts their own life and their own productivity, their own job, their own things that they need to get done. remember to prioritize yourself, because looking after yourself is the best way to help look after others. If you've got plenty, and by plenty, that can be plenty of time, plenty of energy, plenty of money, because you've replenished yourself, then you have an overflow you can give to people out of the abundance of the overflow that you have. But if you've given out so much that you don't have anything left for yourself, you're going to end up burning out. And not only won't you have any for yourself, you won't have any to give out anyway. So make sure you're prioritizing yourself first. And then you have the not urgent and not important tasks. So these are things like, mindless scrolling on social media, or, watching trash TV. And yeah, there might be a time and place for these things, but usually this should be set aside for when you've done the tasks that are important. So once you've got everything out of the way and you've done it before your deadline and you're not stressed or anything like that, you have a little bit of downtime, and you can use that downtime to do the things that you want to do, you care about, but they're not necessarily important and they're definitely not urgent. So if you're someone who is currently quite stressed and you want a productivity hack so that you're not always stressed and you don't always feel like you're chasing your tail, then the Eisenhower Matrix might be something that you want to start thinking about and implementing into your daily and weekly routines so that you feel less stressed, more balanced. I know that when I get things out of the way and I've finished things way before the deadline, and I'm working on things today where it's important but it's not urgent, I feel a lot less stressed. I feel like more peace, like a burden has been lifted, and I'm living life kind of strolling through rather than rushing here, there and everywhere and having to get everything sorted. And then in that way you make mistakes, and then your mental health is going, and then you can easily get burnt out. We don't want to be in that place. We want to be striving through life, not feeling like we're just about surviving through life. So hopefully this video has helped you. If it has, then please click the like button down below and let me know if there's any videos you want me to focus on next in the comment section down below. But if you want more productivity tips, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you soon.